All right, now we have the hinge guide. Let me kind of zoom in on this so I can, there we go. Try to read that. These old eyes working. Okay, so we have a counter bore here. Okay, this is an interesting kind of a piece. But anyway, that's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to start with this circle, and I'm going to make rectangles for this cut and for this part. And the way I make the rectangles is going to be using a center point so that I can make sure that everything lines up with the center point. All the center points are lined up because these are all centered. Okay. So let's start with new as an English standard part create. And I'm going to go on the XY plane here and start with that interior circle or the exterior circle. Let's take a look at our dimensions here. Radius of 1, so it's going to be a diameter of 2. Okay. And then we have an inner circle with a radius of 0.5, so it's going to be a diameter of 1. So let's pop that in there. Make sure it's concentric. It is. It's 0.5. We get a diameter of 1. Okay, now for this part here, I'm going to draw a rectangle with a center point. Okay, it's a 2-point center. So I'm going to pick a point on this line out here somewhere and just kind of pull it in like so. And to verify that this is centered, I'm going to pick the center point. I'm going to hit horizontal. Horizontal should work since I'm on the XY plane. On the center point and the origin point to make sure that they're horizontal. Okay, and that's all good now. And then I'm going to do this again over here. And I'm going to put it right here. And then horizontal, center point, origin point. Okay. Now, I'm just going to put some dimensions in here real quick. This is 0.25. I don't have to center it because that center point's already, it's already done, right? And this is 0.5. And the distance from the center, the origin to the edge is 4. So we'll put a dimension from this circle to the edge and make it 4. Okay, so we're going to have to do some stuff here. I could just drag this in like that. That works. And some trimming. And these little construction lines make trimming always kind of a little bit more complicated because there's little parts here, and you got to get them all. Make sure you get them all. Get rid of all that stuff. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, that. Okay. Over here, just get rid of this, this, that. Okay, so we have that basic shape. Now we have a radius here of 0.3. There's two ways we can do this. We can do this in the sketch, and we can also do it on the model. I'm going to do it both ways, okay? I'm going to do one on the sketch and one on the model. So let's do this bottom one on a sketch. We'll just put the radius here using the fillet command, and that's what, 0.3? So I'll type in 0.3, and then just basically click both those lines, okay? Let's finish the sketch. And I'm going to extrude this symmetrically, okay, because I want to line this up. Well, that's 1 inch over, 2 inches over. Well, I got a dimension, so it doesn't really matter. But, yeah, I'm going to do it anyway, because I could line this up with the origin point if I do it that way. And it's, what, 2, right? So we'll do an extrusion, and I'm going to go symmetric extrusion and make that 2 millimeters or 2 inches and say okay. Now I talked about this radius here, right? See how the radius turned out there? We did it with the sketch. We can also do it with the model right here, the fillet command, and that's 0.3. and I just pick on that right there, and it puts it in for me. So you can do it either way. You can do it beforehand or you can do it after. I guess whichever time you think of it. All right, so now we have 3 holes here. These 2 holes are just regular old drilled holes. I'll just pop them in with a sketch. Let's do that right now. Put a sketch plane on top, and I'll put a couple circles here. Okay, there's my couple circles right here. And 0.25, dimension 0.25. I'm not home. Let's line them up. Let's see, will this one work? Yes, it will. So I'm going to go with the vertical constraint on here, and that'll line them up. So this is 2.25 from the front edge. So we'll go from this edge to here. 2.25. That was very close. And this is 1/2 inch and 1 inch. So this is a 1/2 inch from the edge, 0.5, and they're 1 inch from each other. 1. Finish the sketch. Extrude. Pick these 2 circles, and we're doing a cut and through all. Okay, so we've got them in now. Now we have the counterbore. So we have the counterbore as a diameter 0.5. That's this hole. That's the diameter of the drill. Then the counterbore diameter is 1. That's this outer hole. Okay, and the depth, it's hard to see, but that's a depth symbol, is 0.125. That's the depth of the outer hole. All right, we're just going to use the hole command. So if I say hole, I'm going to do a simple hole with a counterbore. I've got a diameter of 0.5. I've got a counterbore diameter is 1, and the depth is 0.125. Like that, 0.5. Oop, not 0.2, 0.5. I hit the wrong button. Okay, so 1.125, 0.5. And we'll place it. Let me see what the dimensions are. 1 over and 1 up. So we'll place it right here. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click on that edge, and that's 1. And then I'll click on this edge and 1. And say OK. And there's my counterbore. And that is the model. And it is what? The hinge guide.